It's time for the welding segment. It melted straight through the 16 gauge steel, and I have no way of lowering the current that I'm putting into this. So we're gonna have to be real fast and real careful. I did some exploring earlier today around town, and I found a local metal supplier that will sell me entire sheets of sheet steel, which is very useful because we're gonna need it for today's stream. Let me show you some of what I got here. Well, give me 1 second, actually. I probably should move this thing. So, today's stream, we're gonna be solving a problem that you guys have been pointing out for the last 2 years, which is that when spring and summer hit, I like wearing my sandals, my dad's sandals, around the shop. And you guys always getting my ass and being like, that's not lab safe. Oh, what if you drop a big brick on your toe? Yada yada. Oh, you should be wearing steel toe boots. I'm in my house. I shouldn't have to wear steel toe boots. I mean, I'm here to be comfortable. So today, we're gonna make a compromise. We're gonna be making steel-toed sandals. Basically, I'm gonna form-fit steel toes for my sandals, which should work excellently if everything goes as planned. I've got these sheets of steel. This is my old carbon steel. It's about 16 gauge. It would survive something landing on it, so it should be like sturdy enough for a steel toe, but still capable of being bent by my 20-ton hydraulic press. And then I also, because I found the metal supplier, I also got a giant, you can see, last time I was having to use the little like dies and stuff. Now I've got a giant plate of 3/4 inch carbon steel to press into. Do you have a test weight for after you form it? Yeah, I'll drop this plate of steel on it and see if it fucking dents. Anyway, the idea here is that we make a mold, we make a press that we can then mash the steel into, create our like concave part, and then we mount that to the sandal. So there's a few different things we need to do. First, we're gonna get the dimensions of the sandal. I got big ass feet, so we might have to make these a little bit larger than usual. We're gonna try to mold a toe cup over the front of it. We're gonna need to make dies for the pneumatic press, or sorry, the hydraulic press. It's not pneumatic. How exactly is this gonna work and not just bend the metal? Motherfucker, it's supposed to just bend the metal. That's what it's supposed to do. What metal are you using? I'm using 16 gauge carbon steel. If that isn't strong enough after we do a drop test, I have some other options. I got some long steel bars. We can heat them up in the forge, get them white hot, and then bang them into shape. Maybe weld the whole thing together into like a fucking reinforced abomination. Paper. Shoe. Hang on a second, bros. We're thinking like, you know, we're thinking like engineers instead of thinking like fabricators. Here, let me cut two. One for the other side. I mean, it doesn't have to be this bumpy, you know, we'll smooth it out. I'm kind of tracing around like the soles of the thing. Well, the socks also have steel toes. I don't think we're gonna have time for that kind of shenanigan. A 14 men's is a 16 woman's? Alright, guess I do have the Peggy Hill shoe size. Damn it. It has this like contouring, but honestly, we probably should not press the contour. Honestly, hang on. You know what we should do? I'm cutting these out right now. I'm realizing now how this should be done, and we can correct this before we start cutting out our dies. We should position them like this. And cut it as one big oval. Press it as one giant oval, because then we can just chop it in half and then do the contouring, like, manually, right? Uwo Wiki Feet win. I already had that guy whose username is, like, VTuber Feet Connoisseur come in here and rank my feet from my streams where I used to show my sandals. By the way, I was gonna be like, oh, when I flip it over, they can't say shit. But the marker bled through the paper, so it made it double-sided. There's our router thing. All right, this does just spiral on here. I haven't used this thing, like, plain in forever. All right, you can see, and then this will lock it in. Locks it pretty solid to me. All right, now I can use it like a normal router, which I've never done. I literally bought it for the, I bought it for that, and then I've never used it for anything else. I want to use the router instead of the what's it called? The jigsaw. Because I think, I was gonna say I needed to cut out the negative, but I don't think I really do, if I'm being honest. I could probably cut the negative out just fine with the jigsaw. But instead, I've disassembled my CNC tool head for no reason other than to inconvenience me later when I wanted to use it again. This is what we're gonna be pressing. Man, whoever got me this Ryobi wireless saw, it being wireless is actually, or I guess cordless, not wireless. It being cordless actually kicks ass. I'm just marking this thing out. We gotta be at least like somewhat accurate here. What are we? This guy, we could probably do a 9-inch plate. I don't know why I'm being stingy with the MDF. Ah, fuck it, 10.5. We'll treat ourselves a little bit. There we go. I knew that shit was gonna drop, so I was trying to go fast. Alright, now we cut this in half to get our 2 squares. And I hope that it's deep enough. Honestly, I don't think we can go much deeper. Are those the hole pants again? Why do you guys always rag me for the hole pants? These are gonna look like damn clown shoes by the time I get them on, man. They're gonna be huge. Ah, yes. A wonderful shape. You know, the screws poking through the bottom really grip it into the workbench so it doesn't slide around. Man will hammer out steel toe caps for his sandals before fixing a hole in his pants. There's a bit of priority, like, shuffling at play here, yes. I'll admit. Oh wait, I see how this works. I see how this works. This raises and lowers the bit. I'm gonna have to have the cord on this side because the window is on this side and I need to see where the bit is at. Alright, hang on. I'm gonna need the respirator for this one. I can tell already. Holy shit. The fucking line doesn't even... The line doesn't even meet back up at the right spot. Dude, this is the worst cutout ever. Well, that just fucked up the entire thing. The idea is that you put a steel plate on top and then use the hydraulic press to and shove it in the hole. That's the premise. This isn't quite a good enough buffer. It's gonna give like, I mean, that like covers most of the wood. You want steel on top and the bottom to like stabilize the entire thing, right? All right, hang on, I'm rearranging our camera scenario. Good news too, I found a local metal shop that not only sells like every metal imaginable and will do like weird stuff. Like they do. We gotta revisit the railgun because they sell giant copper bar stuff. We can make we could actually set up proper rails that aren't gonna evaporate instantly. But they also they'll cut stuff for you. These need to be screwed together again, I think. We at least need like pegs or something to like guide them in. This is our press that goes in the middle. I have kind of unintentionally keyed it by fucking up this one part. Because now I can identify where, well, like what the orientation of the thing is. Are you seeing the problem that I'm having here? You're seeing the problem, right? Like, I gotta line this up with the hole under the sheet steel. But I'm realizing now I'm gonna tell you what, there's a lot of really good engineer ways to solve this issue. And I'm about to use literally none of them. And I'm gonna go off the old hold it real still and shove the thing under and then drop it on top. Hang on. Don't think we quite got it there. Let's see how this goes. Hydraulic cylinder. Man, I love this thing. It's crazy that you can just like 20 tons it claims. I'm gonna be truly, hang on, I can see it's slightly off. We're doing our damn best. It's starting to go. How will this fail first? What do you mean how will this fail? Have some faith. The noises. You guys are worrying too much. It's just getting a little compressed. It's bending the top steel plate. The top plate's like half an inch thick. All right, hang on. Let's go a little further. I can see the mill scale cracking off of it. I have to bend the damn plate straight again after doing this bullshit. All right, it is sucking it into the hole. That's worth something. I think we should maybe let up on it, maybe a little bit. It doesn't look like it's doing quite what I wanted it. This isn't quite what I was seeing in the YouTube videos, you know? He's got a plan B. I have like 5 plans for this project. I fucking need this project to work. If the whole sheet metal bending doesn't work at all, I've got a backup. That's the sound of progress. It's definitely bending the steel in. Like, I don't know. Oh, wait. Well, I didn't think of that. Let's see if we have something workable here. Okay, moment of truth. Do we have something we can work with? Out of the die? That piece of MDF is like hard stuck. You know, I feel like for all the flaws that it had, I think we can use this. Is it beautiful? No. But look, it's got a little contouring, which is the main part that I was going for. Okay. They called it a failure from the get-go. Now, should I have cut the envelope so it didn't deform my whole fucking steel sheet? Yeah, probably. But you know, we make some mistakes in the prototyping process. Oh my gosh, I fucked up the whole sheet. All right, hang on a second. Oh, baby! This is peak. All right, we got our nice tops. They need some work, and also this part needs to be cut off. We do some deburring as well. It's like nothing but burrs all the way around. Crush this. I'm trying to make this not as dented in, but I'm watching it carefully. I might need to hit the forge a bit. Getting fucking crotch blasted by hot embers. You know what would probably be better to beat on than this? Okay, no, maybe not. Bet I could buy some tool steel from the metal supplier that would, though. Dude, just a little, it doesn't even need to be crazy hot. Just a little bit of heat does help it a lot. These are gonna be functioning steel toes. Say what you want. The part that we need to work on next hasn't even been, cause like the important bit here is we need to get the edge. Edge. We need to get the edge set Because if we don't, it's gonna cut your foot when you shove it into the steel toe. Let's see what we're looking at right now. Where's my sandal for comparison? I mean, that fits. You don't even cut it in half. There's actually gonna be a cavity that gets cut out of the center of this thing. For an angle grinder, not too shabby. All right, there's one foot. This is a lot of work for something that's gonna look like dog shit. But that's just the ethos of the stream at this point. We're not getting anything hot enough to forge weld, so what I'm wondering here is what I'm trying to put together right now. How do we bind this to our sandal? We got our sandals here. Where's my other sandal? Sandals here. Bonk, bonk. Alright, not too shabby, all things considered. This will be keeping our toes nice and protected. I also like that the sharp edge goes along the leather strap so that it doesn't fuck with my feet so much. But they need to be offset from the ground so that if something hits it, it doesn't just smash the plate into my toe. What I'm thinking, take this bar stock, this is some thick stuff too, and prop that around it so we can make a proper you seeing what I'm thinking here? I've got enough of this that if I can heat this up, bang it into the contour matching this, and then, I don't know, maybe weld it? Yeah. And then weld this top onto it. Also, this shit is heavy. That's gonna make them so heavy. There'll be some real clod hoppers for sure. Alright. So, I built this welder a while ago. And she does well for what it's worth. For what it's worth, she does well. What the fuck is that? Okay, so what I did was I took 2 microwave transformers, removed the secondary coils, which I still have. They're these guys right here. Take the secondaries out, rewind them with a low winding, so low voltage, high amperage. I'm getting ready for all the people that don't know anything, but they're about to expert pill about microwave transformers. I'm waiting for the chats to load in. But I took the secondaries out and I rewound these high current, low voltage windings instead of the low current, high voltage windings that are normally in a microwave. And then wired them in series to get enough power to weld. Anyway, we'll use this. We'll use this to weld the strip onto the steel toe. All right. Now, where's my soup can forge? That's the next piece of this puzzle. I knew I still had this piece of shit somewhere. Alright, let's put some, let's put this actually, I can put this on this steel plate so it doesn't burn my table. We're getting upgraded equipment here. Look, we have a steel plate now. So for you guys who don't know how this works, basically it's a soup can full of some incredibly carcinogenic foam. Or not foam, sorry, it's like fibers. It's basically asbestos too, refractory, so it's gonna insulate it really good. And then you stick the torch in the side. You see there's a hole, and then you lock the torch to be on. You set it like this, and yeah, you let it fucking heat up your metal. All right, let's block some of that hot air in. I'm gonna need my gloves as well, because this shit gets hot. Alright. You have a fire extinguisher? Yeah, I got a fire extinguisher. I have 2. Also, this is what I'm gonna use to grab my hot work. Channel lock's not ideal, but they'll get the job done. If we run this too long, it'll start icing up the propane tank. Don't ask me how I know. That's actually like too much. How you gonna fit it in the can once it's bent? That's an excellent question, my friend. One that I do not have a good answer to. It would be better to use the Gigaforge, but once again, I don't want to make my house smell like shit. So I'm trying to avoid that one, since I think I can get away with not using it. Yeah, the problem here is that I really need, like, the center setup. But unfortunately, I don't really have... Alright, I'm realizing now I should have cut this before... all of this. Now the thing's fucking hot. And I gotta get out the angle grinder on it. Because really, what I need to do is heat the other end so that I can bend it back towards. The Gigaforge? I mean, it's Giga compared to this thing. It's not that big. It's just big compared to this. Actually, hang on. I think this is how we're gonna do this. Not the most efficient, but the can still lets it retain heat well enough that I think we should be able to pull it off. This is not red hot by any stretch of the imagination. Angle grinder's about to get ultra spicy. Not only is it blasting metal everywhere, it's blasting like preheated metal everywhere. It's a nice curve to it. Yeah. I heard that's actually favorable. Can't be having this shit. Stay still. Alright, hang on. Slow down there. That was... The part that needs bent the most is the part in the middle, and the damn thing is not able to ever get it. Master blacksmith. I'm using a soup can forge, okay? I'm doing the best I can. Can you even see it down here? Heating this shit? This is a masterwork of redneck. I don't think it's probably cool too much to do this now, but... We're really close. Like, it's almost there. Just a little more, man. Just a little more. All right, bros, it fits. We finally got this bastard to fit. You know what that means? You know what that means, guys? It's time for the welding segment. Oh, what about doing the other one? Listen, we do one, and then if I feel like it, I'll do the other one. Alright, well, it melted straight through the 16 gauge steel, and I have no way of lowering the current that I'm putting into this, so we're gonna have to be real fast and real careful. Okay, no, it's sticking. It's sticking, it's just gonna be dog shit. It's so hard to cold start once the flux is kind of gone off the end. Love it or hate it, this is getting the job done in the worst way imaginable. I mean, is it ideal? No. Does it work? I think it fucking is gonna work, dude. I should get a tack there, actually. That one didn't really tack it on. Alright, we need to do some tests. And to test it, let's go ahead and put it on the floor so I can beat it up. Oh, baby! Hang on. We gotta get our boys in here. Oh yeah, I guess it's because they're dehydrated. This is a fantastic foot simulation, and y'all cannot tell me otherwise. Alright, hang on. Here's our, the dogs are out. There's our product. And we got some dogs in there. Time to do a drop test. I'd buy that for $1. Well, it's gonna be $120. All right. Not bad, not bad. That's pretty good. This is a real heavy one. Oh no, it came off the sandal. It legitimately holds up. All right, I can't detach the anvil, but this is basically the heaviest thing that I've got. All right, maybe that one probably would that one might be a little damaging. All right, well, the good news is your toes would be fine. It's just that, the rest of your foot would be pretty fucked up. So, when you buy steel-toed boots, you have to get the metatarsal guards if you want to protect the rest of your foot. So you know, this actually sets us up excellent for an Activision-style DLC upcharge. I can't believe the shitty weld didn't immediately fail the minute that it was put under force